we go here, and he goes from this is just first play, new center, new quarterback. I get it, but to start the game this way, here's the thing that happens with these kind of plays. You get into a situation where you look over across the field and you're a backup and you're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to make this team. You're trying to show Sean Ryan's trying to show that he's, maybe he's trying to show that he's a starter. Maybe he's trying to show that, hey, I could even take, I could even take the center position. 62 is the second game in the National Football League, albeit a preseason game. Hey, I belong here, even though I'm an undersized guy. You made the right choice in draft. So there's all these things going on. The quarterback, hey, listen, if Jordan Love gets injured or for any reason can't play, like, team's in good hands. There's all these things happening. And then there's this anxiety because there's the first team on the Broncos defense is looks like they're going to be playing at least a lot of their starters. And so you start going, okay, this is a different kind of challenge for us. And then you talk to yourself, okay, this is just like practice, 2s-on-1s in practice. Like we can do this. We're confident in our offense. Some of these guys have started games before. Certainly Royce Newman, we've seen in the starting lineup. Andre Dillard, we've seen in the starting lineup for other teams. So this isn't a situation where you need something to go bad in the first play, because sometimes that's just that's enough of a spark to be like, shoot, we're traveling, where this whole thing's going to be an uphill battle and we're struggling. So this right here, and I can't tell whose fault this is. Usually you just say the center steps back, takes a really, really poor leverage step. So I'm assuming he shifted his weight and that's why the ball shot out. And certainly he's not a natural center, at least at his time in Green Bay. So this is what we talked about before with just being sure. I don't know specifically what this linebacker was looking at. I didn't spend enough time, but he is reading mail. Watch the play speed on the snap here. I mean, he's nice. He's gone. He's in and making the play. Like, they know, they're seeing the keys. They know what to look at. Maybe they watched an ounce of tape. But you see this play, and, I mean, there's a couple things going on here. Number one, they got 84 and Dillard running a slip, and it really is going to be 84. Like, 84 is not equipped to necessarily block this guy and remove him. But the big play is he does a pretty decent. Okay. The big thing is this. Royce Newman is trying to fight for a spot on this team. There's not a play in this game, I think, where Royce brings his second step vertically. So there's not a point where he's gaining ground. And so every play looks like a catch, and then hopefully we'll try to press him. And he gets stoned at or behind the line of scrimmage so many times just because he's trying to get that second step in the ground, because I'm sure that's been beaten to his head for years and years and years. Second step down, second step down, second step down. Okay, but if you're not gaining ground with that second step and you're just coming to balance, well, you've actually lost your leverage position. So we see kind of two slips here. We call this a left gap between the center and the left guard, and we call this a slipper or a play side tray between the left tackle and the tight end. But at the point of attack, you got to be violent. You got to move the guy. So you see that with Royce. He just never, because he's so worried about getting that foot down, there's no power behind it. So it's almost like we're tap dancing. You got to put some posterior chain behind that second step. Look, Sean Ryan does a great job of clearing this thing out, okay? But you got to get that push immediately, because it makes the angle of the running back a lot better. Now, on the backside, do we still have to improve here? Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've got a miscommunication on the backside. Is the right guard going through, or is 76 the right tackle going to try to get that linebacker? My guess is the right guard is thinking B, and I'm going to go quick through. If this guy steps around, 76, you got to pick him up. And 76 is like, I'm going to step direct and try to cut that guy off. Now, that right tackle isn't cutting off that linebacker no matter what. And quite frankly, the right guard, even if he took perfect footwork here, unless he knows that guy's shooting and stepping around, I don't know that he's getting here. But it doesn't look good on the backside because it looks like they're on different pages. Great individual effort here, trying to get as much as you can. Love try to fight through that tackle. Now, so you got the fumble, you get the bad run play. You're looking, okay, what do we do? So it's like, when in doubt, air it out, right? There is actually a safety. I have the hole here because there's a safety behind, and they are playing deep single high safety. So you've got these two one-on-one matchups outside. You feel good about the high side. You just let her rip. And listen, And this is another one of those plays. So you have two of them in the first four plays. You fumble the ball, no dice, right? You feel bad about yourself, whether you want to talk about it or not. Sometimes it creeps into your head. Now you got a 50-yard bomb that's just on the fingertips, doesn't come down with it, and it's like opportunity lost. The whole narrative of the second team offense changes if those two plays go another way. The whole narrative of the offense changes if those two plays go another way. And unfortunately, it's not what happens. Let's watch Andre Dillard. So, we've talked about it before. I don't think that he's been, for whatever people want to say about, I don't know him at all. I've never, I've watched him because I watch football. But I'm just a firm believer if you're in this league and you're really trying to get better, which not everybody is, but if you're really trying to get better, like, you can have a good career, especially given the physical traits that he has, or he had when he was coming out. Let's just watch this set. The big thing, the big takeaway, the positive is you get punch and extend. You're first to punch. You're in a power position. Your base is a little bit wide, but you end up getting hands inside. We just call these, the guys giving you chest, you take chest, you punch and extend him out, you stop his momentum. He's got to stand up and read and try to fight off you. I just think this is a really good, solid rush from him. Way to keep extended, way to keep if you keep your arm extended, just think about it at home. If a guy's on my body and he's trying to turn around me, like, that radius is actually quite small. Now, if I keep my, 2.5 foot or whatever long arm extended out here, well, like, that radius gets a lot bigger. It's just a very simple concept to think about. Why do we want to play out here and not try to, wrestle in here? Is exactly what the defensive linemen want to do. So right there, you're inches from glory, right? Inches from glory. We got trips high. And again, he's not wrong here. You see the route combination. Did I not put it back far enough? Maybe you don't see the route combination. Let's go again. So we're going to run the slant. We're going to run the dig. We're going to run the out by the tight end on the downside. And again, we got a deep safety. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to isolate the outside slot receiver. He's going to run a little out and up. Not really an out and up, but just kind of, we're going to beat this guy high side. We're going to take that space. And again, it almost worked that last time. Let's just try it again this time. And the thing about what that means, I think, in practice, is that now you've got the fumbled snap, you've got the bad run, you've got the wide receiver hitch, you've got the deep ball that doesn't work out, you got the second deep ball that doesn't work out. So you've run, what is that? My math is so bad. You've run 4 plays that are non-productive. Okay. This is a welcome to the NFL moment for our man over here at, I think he's from Duke. And listen, this happens to everybody. It happens to the starters, happens to the backups. Why does it happen is more important. So he's got to understand what is your superpower as it comes to your physical traits. You're an explosive player. You have good hip strength and you have leverage. You're not tall. Okay, so what do you have to do? This guy's playing wide. He's more of a leverage player as far as when you talk about kind of long arms and torso. What do you have to do here? You got to get your hands inside. He tries for that stab, but you see he's stabbing with his shoulder and not his hips. His hips don't come with, so he takes the brunt of that force, doesn't get that inside hand in, and just gets beat. Quarterbacks getting pressured on the takedown. I think we got 2 run plays here I wanted to highlight from the next series. So we have 2 tight ends in the game. And we've got a double team with the left tackle and the tight end to the backer, and again, the left guard and the center. And Royce has been here for a while. It's like, you remember, let's get physical. You want to get physical here, man. Like, you got to move the guy off the ball. When you're double teaming against these guys, you have to think, I'm going to get 1-2 yards. I want to push the guy back to the linebacker, and you can't do that if you don't bring your second step. So we look at it again here. 1-2. His second step just doesn't go anywhere, and we're position blocking, and there's nowhere for the running back to go, so he has to make a different decision, and that decision is not in tune with what the other 9 people on the field are trying to accomplish. he makes something out of nothing and good job, but like we got to move the guy off the spot. And now we got kind of two separate issues. Again, we talked about Steno hasn't been in the line for a year. This is your backup group. You're playing against the first team. There's a lot of things going on, but are you doing things the right way? We just saw bad footwork, defeat us on the last one. Let's look at the left guard, left tackle here first. Excuse me, left guard center. So you just see we're not really bringing anything. He's got inside help. So I tell my guys, if you have inside help from the center here, this is tee off central, right? I want to put my hands through that guy's chest because I know if he goes inside, I'm covered. Okay, so I'm not going to get beat outside. I'm going to take a great second step and I'm just going to just clobber this guy. I'm putting my heart and soul into this because I know that I'm covered on the backside. But we don't do that here. 70, he gets sideways immediately. There's no punch. There's nothing. There's no action, right? And there's wide base, so it's get wide, stay wide with your second, no punch through, and now you're going to get caught. You're going to actually push back towards the line of scrimmage, and there's nowhere for the running back to go. Okay. Now the backside of this, again, the kind of communication with the backside guard and tackle, is now they figured out with that 2-eye based on where that linebacker is. Okay, we probably want a backside. We just call it backside B. We want to backside B this. And I like how 62 comes through and they just bury this guy. Okay. But when I watch this play again, I'm wondering, did the center, you see the motion, you see the space here. The center, if he was, Sean Ryan's not the starter, but he probably fucked. We call this, you're bringing a sup call. A sup call basically moves the center and the left guard to the safety, and the right guard and the right tackle now to the linebacker, the middle linebacker, right? That's on the numbers. So I think that's what's happening. It's so poorly blocked, I'm not sure, but that would be the right call. And if it is, 62, we're not getting off on that linebacker who's going to end up really kind of forcing this play here. So before we get to listener questions, like this is, you contrast the two sides of the football. And again, not starters, but on the offensive side, you're seeing maybe some call issues. You're definitely seeing some execution errors. You're definitely seeing footwork issues that are inconsistent. You're losing to superior players in large part because of what you're doing, not what they're doing. And that's not what you want to see. So you want to see some, if those guys get more reps in this last game, you got to see a lot more, I think, from them to feel good about what they're bringing to the table as far as contributing to this team in 2024, 2025. All right.